Okay, since Tesla went down 8.5% today and it's dropping even more in after hours now, I wanted to make a video for you guys to show you my thoughts. And if you remember from last week, I was saying on the weekly update, I was saying that I want to see price close a weekly candle above this 50% level, and I want to see a weekly candle close above this 265.13 level to officially make a higher high from all these previous highs, right? But that is not the case now, and we can see exactly what happened. It wicked above, trying to just trap some people, and now this is developing into a very bearish kind of candle. But why did price stop exactly right there? Well, I think the answer lies in the Ichimoku cloud on the monthly chart right here. And when you look at the Ichimoku on the monthly chart, it nailed the exact top of the cloud exactly, right? And then it sold off. But where is price going to stop now? So to determine that, we can go back to our weekly chart here, and on X, I drew a trend line from the top down here, and I included all the wicks that I could find, right here. I included that wick and whatnot. So trend lines are very subjective, so I don't really use them. I prefer angles instead, but I just wanted to show you the trend line that I created here. And essentially, if price does drop down to this 382 fib, then possibly it could wick down to the trend line and test it in the 217, 218, 216, whatever, right? In that zone. So this could be the ultimate support now because if you remember, like I said, it's moved up to a new trading range. And it was in this 136 to 236 range. Then it was in this 236 to 382 range. And now it looks like we're in the 382 to the point 0.5 range. So we could just oscillate back and forth before price breaks higher and higher. So let's see if price will continue down to these lower levels in the 220s, or is there some support before price gets there? Well, let's find out. Let's take off that trend line here, and we can add some Bollinger Bands here, and we'll turn back on the Ichimoku. So if you see the Bollinger Band, it is quite extended right now. The Bollinger Band sits around 230.85 currently, so that is one confluence right there that price could come down to the 230 zone and hold. Because if we look in the past, uh, right, especially right here, we can see when price really breaks out, it likes to ride the Bollinger Band all the way up, right? It's done it many times before. It's done it here in the past as well. It's done it in the past, right? So we can consider that maybe a support zone now because it's the top of the Bollinger Band, just a retest of it to continue higher and higher. And if we also look at the cloud, we can see that the cloud, if we go down here, it sits around 234, or going into next week, it sits around 226. So that is still before this 382, 221 level, right? And one additional confluence is the 200-week moving average. And the 200-week moving average also sits currently around 231.75. So we got the we got the 200-week at 231. We got the Bollinger Band at 230.85. We got the top of the cloud maybe at 227. So there's three different confluences right there saying that this could hold before price goes back down to the 382 or below, right? Around 220 to 217 or so. So this could be a better buy opportunity here, mainly because this 200 week, which we can see was support in the past, then it was resistance, and now it looks like it could be flipped back to support. And if it gets flipped back to support, then price should continue higher and higher. So that said, let's go take a look at our linear scale GAN real quick. And here's our linear scale GAN. It didn't quite get up to this level up here because that's a little bit higher, but it's still following the market symmetry as well. And where is another item of confluence? Well, it's this angle. This is not a trend line. This is an angle. And this angle, where does it sit in time or in price? At 228. So I would say that's more confluence of that 230 zone holding before it wicks below further. So could it go back to the 220s? Yes, but I'm just pointing out that there's a lot of confluence around 230 to 228 or 227 or so that this price could hold because we have this angle here, we have that 200 week, we have the cloud, we have the Bollinger Band, we have all of that, right? So this is more Confluence that this could hold. Could it wick down to the arc? Where does that arc sit right now? It sits around maybe 224, 225, maybe even 223, right? So it could wick below, but this blue angle, as you can see in the past, it was a resistance right here, a support right there, lost support, resistance, support, support, and broke through again. So it should flip it to support, right? So I'm pretty confident that this zone right here, 230s, 228, should be a good support, good re-entry level. And worst case, the 220s would be great, right? So let's go take a look at one more thing here. And the last thing I just wanted to show you here is just the log scale chart and how it got close to that 290 level as well, right? And on this log scale chart, there really is no support until it's all the way back here down into the retest of the arc around 185. And I know Tesla tracker was saying something about going to 185, so that could be a confluence right there of eventually maybe getting to that 185. But because of all the other confluences of the 230 to 220 zone of support, I don't know if this back test will happen, right? I don't know because it's already been tested numerous times, right? It's really not necessary to come all the way back down here, in my opinion, to test that. But if that 220 level does break, then that would be my ultimate target, right? But right now, I'm thinking 230 is a great buy, and I think 220 would be even better, but I don't know if it'll get there, right? So we'll take it one day at a time. And the most important thing is tomorrow is the weekly candle close. So we need to wait to see how that closes tomorrow. So I can do my weekly recap and then show you my true thoughts of where I think things are going after this weekly candle closes. So that's all I got for today. And thank you guys.